Hello, welcome to another weekly reading vlog. It's Monday. This is Pippin. He's thrilled to be here. Hang on, I'll just adjust camera. No, don't leave me. No. Pippin really wants to be here. He really does. Pippin is a cat poo. He's named after Pippin from Lord of the Rings. Somehow my family let me get away with that. I am starting this weekly vlog back home because I am here, well, it's bank holiday Monday today, but I'm here for a couple of days. Don't really know when I'm going back, but it's just nice to have a little bit of a break, to be honest. So here I am. It is Monday. It is sleeting, nearly snowing outside because our planet is messed up, which is not good. So it's weird. It's weird. It was really sunny yesterday. I sat outside. I finished with Award, which was the book I was reading at the end of the last weekly reading vlog. Oh no, don't leave me. Don't leave. Okay, finished with Award, which was really good. I gave it 4 stars, really enjoyed it. It was a fantasy set within an alternate London, but there was still our London, and it was a slightly in the past, and just the magic system was really interesting. It was kind of brought in from the stars. There was lots of different types of people that had different types of abilities of magic, and I loved it. And I also found out the author actually is based near me, which is exciting. Not that I'm ever probably going to see the author, but it was cool to know that it was kind of a local written book. So that is what I finished last night or yesterday afternoon, and now I have started Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. If you're watching last week's weekly reading vlog words, you will see that this book arrived in the feminist book box that was very kindly sent to me, and this was the book that was selected by a curated team of people that are there to select the books that they feel best represents what they want to get across in this book box. So I am assuming this is going to be a feminist empowering story. I'm only 34 pages in, but I am really addicted to it already. The writing style is very hypnotic. The actual story itself, from what I can tell at the moment, is about a woman who is in modern times. Her modern times is the 1970s, and this is when the book was written, I think. This is a republished version. So this woman is living with her boyfriend in the 1970s, and she suddenly, on page 2, this happens, is transported back in time where there is a little boy drowning, and she saves him and then just reappears back in her present day. And she doesn't know what the hell happened, she doesn't know where she was, when, where, how, and everything's very weirdly confusing for her. And then it happens again. And she basically, I think the premise of this book is that she is constantly going back to save this one person's life, and she's trying to work out why this is happening, why this person, and where this is all taking her to as well, because she's just kind of getting an inkling as to where I'm at the moment that she is not going back to her time zone, which is very interesting. But the start of this book premises it as, in 1976, Dana dreams of being a writer. In 1815, she is assumed a slave. So basically, she is being taken back to the 1800s, where it is really not a safe place for her, and the place that she's being taken back to initially, and the boy that she's currently having a life of trying to save, is the son of a guy who owns a company that I've forgotten what the company does, but the company basically has a lot of slaves working for it. Set in the 1800s, we see her fully immersed in this world and this piece of history that is something she's learnt about through her ancestors but has never experienced. And because she is coming into this world as a black woman but without her freedom papers, it is very dangerous for her, because essentially she looks like she could be a runaway slave, which is putting her in a really, really dangerous situation. I think they're called freedom papers. Please don't quote me on that if I'm wrong, but she's mentioned in here about the fact that she doesn't have these papers to say that she's free and not owned by somebody, because she's from the 1970s. The concept of this is so interesting. I believe that we're going to see her going back in time several times. I assume we see the boy grow up into a man. But either way, I am really intrigued by the premise of this book. I had never heard of Octavia E. Butler before, but I think she's, well, from what I see from this, she's credited as being like a pioneer for her genre and things. So I have now looked at other books by her, and she looks like she does some really interesting stories that are all centred around some kind of science fiction element, which is interesting, because if you know me, you know I don't normally go for science fiction. But the science fiction I don't tend to go for is either heavily dystopian or heavy space features, whereas this is time travel. So I feel like I can get on board with this one a lot more, because I don't know why, I just don't like things set in space. I just don't know why, it doesn't connect with me. This is not set in space, but it's really interesting. So that is the Kindred, or just Kindred, not the Kindred, by Octavia E. Butler, and I should be reading that this week. I've also got Hamnet with me, and then other than that I'm out of books that I brought with me, but I just wanted to show you something quickly. So my mum got me a present for Easter. She's super kind of her. She got me this Yoshi bag and I am obsessed with this. It has got loads of book covers on it. It's got a huge pocket at the back that fits a Kindle in it. Then there's this pocket in here which has everything else, and I love it. It's yellow, it's great, it's a crossbody shoulder bag and I'm obsessed with it. I've been looking at these bags for ages and my mum knows I love them and she really loves them too. This is such high quality. So it's Yoshi as in like the game, the character in Mario, and I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it, so I thought you guys would appreciate that. So that's the weekly vlog, that's the start, not the whole thing, just the start. As I was ill not yesterday, last week, I feel like last week's weekly reading vlog was a bit disjointed and a bit like, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it if you watched it. But this week I have still got a residue cough and I'm blowing my nose and stuff, but that's pretty normal for me when I've come to the tail end of a cold. So feeling way, way better. Thank you so much for any of your support last week, because I think I had to film 3 videos whilst I was ill and just get them done, and I really didn't feel like it, but I managed to do it. So if you've watched those videos and supported, thank you very much. Really appreciate it, because yeah, I just was not feeling it. Every time I film, I should just mute my phone really, shouldn't I? Anyway, happy Monday. Let's see where the week takes us.
Before you educate the head, try to educate the heart.
It's Tuesday and I'm Beth.
And I'm Ava. Oh no, wait a second. I'm Beth. But she's Ava. Silly us. Hello everyone. It's Tuesday. Ava is joining me for this part of the vlog because I am still at home. I've just finished work for the day. And Ava has got 4 books she would like to recommend. Ava is, how old are you?
8.
Ava is 8, so these books are suitable for an 8-year-old. What do you know if are you like a higher reading age? I think you are, aren't you?
When I was in year 3 they said I read like a 10-year-old.
Okay, so Ava's got a fairly decent reading age. So these are for confident 8-year-olds?
Yeah.
Or also, I think some, they vary. So Ava's going to tell you very briefly about each of these 4 books. If you need any middle grade recommendations or children's books recommendations, more than middle grade.
So this one is The Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton, and it's about like how all the characters live at the top of the tree in special lands.
I love the Magic Faraway Tree. Isn't it good? Should we show them the cover? This is the tree. And every time the school children, oh, focus on the book, every time the school children go up the tree, there's a different land at the top of it, and they get to go and explore the land, don't they? It's very cool. I love the Magic Faraway Tree. What we got next?
We've got Judy Moody, the first one. I've got mostly all of them, except
Judy
you.
Moody. Is it by Megan MacDonald? Is that who it's by? Have I remembered that? Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
And it's about a girl who's really moody, and she's got a cat called Mouse.
I love Judy Moody. She's so much fun. I used to have a journal with Judy Moody on it, and you could spin the arrow on the front and it would tell you like what kind of a mood you were going to be in for the day. Do we like Judy Moody?
Yeah.
Would you recommend Judy Moody?
Yeah.
Focus on the book.
But it takes a long time to read.
Yeah, did this one take you a bit longer? This one does have some
Yeah.
pictures in it. I actually think we said, I obviously didn't mean middle grade. Middle grade is older than what you would be reading, but I think these are 5 to 8 books definitely, because the font size is pretty big. But
Or it
you can
could
also
be 8 to 10.
Yeah, but I think you read bigger books as well. Like you've got quite a few big, like 400-page books over there, haven't you? But we're showing the smaller books, the more palette-sized book recommendations. What we got next?
I've got this one called Isadora Moon, goes on holiday, and it's where a girl who's a fairy, half vampire, goes on holiday with her little sister who's the same. She's like a baby, and they go on holiday and she meets up with mermaids and she sorts out all the litter in the ocean.
Oh, does she? That's cool. Who's this one by?
Harriet Muncaster.
Muncaster. And this one has kind of a shiny top bit. I like that she goes and picks up litter from the beach. Oh, there's a little turtle. Oh, it's so cute. Focus on the turtle. Oh. Okay, and the last book you're recommending
is Mummy, Fairy and Me, and I've got all three of these except one that I think I have somewhere else, but I can't remember where.
What are these ones about?
It's about a fairy who's a mum to a daughter who's going to become a fairy when she's older, and they go on adventures and the mum can't do any spells right.
Wow, okay. And who's this one by?
Unicorn Wish.
I don't think it's by Unicorn Wishes, I think it's by Sophie Kinsella, who also writes adult books.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool, okay. Do you have any other ones you wanted to add in to recommend to everyone? You can recommend one more if you want.
Really a proper book, but it's like a bunch of stories that I like.
Do elegantly squidge your way through. What's that one?
It's Greatest Animal Stories by Michael Morpurgo.
Ah, and what are you reading at school? Is it Kenzuki's Kingdom?
No, we went past that
Oh,
one.
you've read that one. What are you reading now?
The Girl of Ink and Stars.
I've read that. The orange cover. Do you like it? I've read that.
Then we're going to read Charlotte's Web.
Oh, okay. So are you liking the ones you're reading at school? You're kind of out of the frame. Come in. Sit properly. You liking the ones you're reading at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, should we show everyone? So what were you saying about this one?
Well, it's a bunch of stories, and in one of them is where a fox fights against a rabbit. That's what they two are. And the fox falls in the the rabbit falls in the well, and they keep on swapping places in the well.
Wow, okay. So I think what we've got here, we've got some good recommendations that I think if you were in a bookshop would be, these ones are in the 5 to 8 categories, but then Ava was talking about the Michael Morpurgo book, which I think, do you think the Michael Morpurgo books are maybe more like 9 to 12?
Yeah, because they're quite hard to read.
Okay, so those recommendations, if you want some for 9 to 12-year-olds, Michael Morpurgo, Jacqueline Wilson. You've been reading a lot of Jacqueline Wilson for 9 to 12 as well, probably. And Ava, what have you just finished? What book is your most recent finish?
Roller Girl.
Can I show them? Is this your favourite book? Ava has read this book to absolute death. It won't focus, but you get the gist. Like, just to reiterate, we do promote caring for books in this household, but this one, Ava has just...
No, I have not.
No, you've read it to death. That's a good thing. You've read it like 50 times. This is a graphic novel that Ava loves. She really loves it. So that's what she's just finished. So as I said yesterday, I am currently reading Kindred. What do you think? What do you think this is about from the cover? Any guesses? Don't read the reviews or anything. Don't give it away to yourself.
No, I can't figure out.
It's about a woman.
Camel.
It's about a woman that time travels from the 1970s to the 1800s, where she is actually mistaken as a slave in the 1800s. And do you know how they treated the slaves in the 1800s? Yeah? Can you say anything about that? Do you know?
Meanie.
Meanie, yes. Very, very, very meanie. And this book is, I would say, from when I last updated you, I've got to about the 100-page mark now. It's definitely brutal. There is a lot of intense moments in this book that I've reached so far, and it is, I think it's a really poignant novel, and so far I am finding it really, really interesting. I want to read more around this as well and learn more about it, but I think the writing style is making it very compelling because we have the 2 different time periods and we want to understand why this is all happening. What do you think? Not a kid's book, not a children's book, just to pop that in there, but this is what I'm reading. Difficult, yes. Difficult in terms of the fact that it's emotionally difficult to see the fact that people were just horrible humans to people.
No, I mean just like the writing.
Yeah, and that too. Okay, so that was Ava's reading recommendations. Anything to say before we say goodbye?
Don't forget to get the books and they're very good.
Yes.
Oh, and like and subscribe.
Subscribe. Like and what?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. And if you want more content, you can find me on my Patreon. Can you say Patreon?
Patreon.
It's all linked down below. This isn't the end of the vlog, but it's the end of this clip. Wave goodbye.
Wave goodbye.
Hello, it's Wednesday. I am still at the family home. I'm going back to my flat tonight. So many different homes going on. Home here, home back where my flat is. Anyway, I'm really enjoying being back home because as much as I love living by myself and I love that independence, I think when we're in lockdown still and I can't really see people in the same way as I can here, it really does make quite a big difference to be able to just come back here and be in company of people and laugh with people and stuff. Saying that, I have a massive amount of appreciation for the people I talk to online and know through online as well. My Patreon Discord chat at the moment is just such a source of comfort. I feel like I can talk to those guys about so many different topics and it literally just feels like a little online family of people that are just there to support each other and lift each other up and make each other feel better. So very thankful for that because they've been keeping me going today quite a lot. So they're amazing too. I'm pointing over there because my computer's over there, so therefore in my brain the internet is over there where Discord is. But anyway, if you wanted to join that lovely little family, there's links down below, but it makes me very happy. Anyway, it is Wednesday as I said, and I have been reading Kindred for 3 days now. This book, I just don't want to stop reading it. I'm reading it late into the night and having to force myself to stop. I wouldn't say it's a quick read in the sense of there's a lot going on here, and whilst it deals with heavy topics, it deals with them in a way that I think is very readable. I don't feel daunted by this book. I mean, it's really not long, but I'm about halfway through, so what page am I on? 137, and I started on Sunday, I think. So, did I start on Sunday? Yeah, I did. But probably not properly until Monday. So as I said, it's dealing with heavier topics because we're dealing with our main character who is going back in time to the 1800s where she is mistaken for a slave. And obviously that is not a good thing, that is not a good place to be, that is absolutely terrifying for her and very different to the life she knows in the 1970s. So we're kind of dealing with two different aspects here. We're throwing together the science fiction element of time travel. Why is this happening? What's happening to her? When's it going to happen? Like, what's the solution to this? And then we're also throwing in the historical section of this where she's being time traveled to, is that a thing? She's being taken back in time to the 1800s. So we've kind of smushed those two together, as probably does often happen with time travel novels, because usually they're going to go forward or backwards in time. So sci-fi, historical, but the main character is also, I think, a really good feminist lead. This book I assumed was going to be a feminist book going into it because it arrived in the April Feminist Book Box, and it is. The main character is very much self-sufficient, self-dependent. She has people around her that she does rely on for things, but ultimately she knows she is in control of her own path, her own safety, and she also has this acknowledgement of knowing that she can't control everything, but also being in charge of the things she can control, and I think that makes her very empowering and a really fascinating character to follow. She feels very real, and I really care about what path she is going on and what's going to happen to her. One thing I think this author is doing that is really gripping me is the way that she is portraying emotion. The main character is going through traumatic times. She is being pushed back in time. She is ending up in the 1800s. She is being confused as a slave. She is being beaten and whipped. This is not light-hearted, as I said. There are moments that can be more light-hearted, don't get me wrong. It's not super serious, it's not super heavy all the time, but there's definitely a lot of important themes in this. But point being that the author has all these different situations she's putting our main character in. So there's all these different emotions to go with it, and I think the terror and the fear really leaps off the page here when it needs to, and I think that makes this book so much more compelling and feels so much more real. And I really want to read more books like this. If anyone's got any recommendations, I'm going to look at more of this author's work. I think she writes a couple of dystopians as well, which I'm not so much into, but if there's anything more that's like sci-fi, time travel-y kind of sci-fi, or anything like that, I'm definitely interested, because as well, this is not a period of history, the 1800s, that I have read much fictionally about. I don't tend to reach for historical fiction, but as I think I've said before, I'm trying to push out what I read more and more of. And reading this from the perspective of a woman who has been mistaken as a slave, but also knows the history of that as well, from the fact that she's actually from the 1970s, gives a very different look at this as a historical fiction. So I'm definitely intrigued to learn more about this and read more around this as well. So if anyone's got any recommendations, please let me know, because I am constantly trying to read wider. I'm also trying to be able to recommend you guys books that aren't in every single booktube video because of mine because I feel like I'm recommending you the same books often, and I don't want to do that. So whilst I am probably still going to be reading like some of the more predictable books, like for example From Blood and Ash is on my TBR, I need to get to it. I'm worried that the hype is going to make me not like it. But anyway, I will be reading that still, but there'll also be other ones I'm trying to merge in there that hopefully aren't books I talk about as much or have talked about before. So hopefully there's something for everyone. I'm going to finish my day of work, do a bit of reading, and then head home after dinner. So I'll see you guys when I'm back at my flat. Pippin thinks I've got some apple to give him, but I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're so cute though. Can I have a paw? Good boy. Hello friends. Tis Thursday, no it's not, tis Wednesday evening. We've spoken already today, but I have an unboxing to do for you guys. I did one of those wishlist sharing threads where I got a fair few people some Easter gifts and have received a couple back. I have been at my family home since Saturday, so these were waiting outside my flat when I got back, and let us dive in. So basically, if you're unaware of what wishlist sharing thread is, it's basically just literally that, a thread on Twitter in which you share your wish list and you get people to share below, and in return people gift each other books off of them. So I sent some people some books. I've been very, very lucky, and I'm very, very thankful to receive some books back. I know that lots and lots of other people have received books from this as well, because people have messaged me saying that they've received stuff from other people, which is great. Let's dive in. One of the boxes here actually isn't a book, it's a laptop charger. I don't know which one, so we're just going to play Russian roulette, well, without the kind of danger side, but let us open. The first one is The Diviners. This has been brought to me by Lauren from Fiction Tea, who says, sorry you don't like the cover, but I hope you enjoy this, from Lauren. Thank you so much, Lauren. Yeah, the cover for the hardback is much prettier, but I've been told this is excellent. I think it's kind of paranormally supernatural, which I am really in the mood for at the moment, having finished, well, being up to date with the City of Ghosts series by Victoria Schwab, so I'm excited. Also, very floppy for a big book, which I very much like to see, so thank you, Lauren. Lauren got me too. This is Zodiac Academy, The Awakening by Carol Peckham and Susan Valenti, and this is again sent from Lauren. Apparently this is what me, you and Connie are buzzing to read now. Thanks for being a fabulous best friend, from Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for being a fabulous best friend. So this one, Connie, Lauren and I were all talking about this, and I am very excited to read this. This is all centered around zodiacs, and I think it's a fantasy. There's changelings. I'm very excited. It looks really cool. Oh, there's like art, not art, but like slightly different formatting. But I hadn't heard of this one before, and then it was suggested to me on a group call, and now I really want to read it, so thank you so much, Lauren. This is exciting. Okay, I don't think these are all going to be from Lauren, but now I'm wondering. Lauren, you naughty person. Next up, we have got Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. Not gonna lie, this is way thinner than I was expecting. Not that that's a bad thing, but I just had in my head that this was a chunky book. This is sent to me by Teresa Mock. Happy Easter, Beth, from Teresa at Teresa Exlin10 on Twitter. Thank you so much, Teresa. I have been seeing this one dotted about the place. The cover is stunning, and just everyone seems to be really liking it, and I very nearly bought this on Kindle for Becca's Bookoplathon, as it fitted one of the prompts, and I was like, I need a book quick that fits the prompts, but I didn't. And then I thought, no, I want to add it to my wish list because I want that paperback, because that is pretty. So thank you so much to Teresa for getting me this one. I'm not going to be going into detail about what these are all about, because otherwise we'll just be here for a while. But obviously you can look any of them up, and if you know the kind of books that I like, then that might give you a vague indication. That's pretty poor, isn't it? Basically, if I gave you synopses for all of them, we would be here for a long old time. It's a graphic novel. Yay! This is Bingo Love, which I have seen so many good things about. It is an LGBT romance set within a bingo kind of, well, they play bingo together. I'm so excited for this. So this is the art style. I just love how happy this looks. And this one was sent to me by Ray from Paz from Mars. This is on my wishes too, and it looks so freaking cute, and I needed to get it for you. Words elude me. But yeah, this one was sent to me from Ray, whose username is Paz from Mars. Thank you so much, Ray. And also, I've run out of graphic novels. I've read all the ones that I own, so that's very exciting. I really want to find the laptop charger because these all look like books, unless maybe the laptop charger never arrived. Next up is Sophia Khan Is Not Obliged by Aisha Malik. This is an adult contemporary comedy romance thing, I think, is what I get the impression. I believe that this one is very funny from what, like, well, one of the reviews on the back says snort Diet Coke out of your nostrils funny, which instantly makes me just want to read it. It's been a while since I read a love story as satisfying as this. Funny and sparky, huge fun, the perfect blend of comedy and romance. I'm very, very excited. I think it's about a woman who has to write a book and fall in love for research purposes. I don't know, but I absolutely love the cover because it's the kind of cover that you can do this with. And it works. So that was bought for me by Sophie. Thank you so much, Sophie. I have been adoring your content recently. Keep up the fab work, from What Soph Read on Twitter. Thank you, Sophie. I'm very excited. I feel like I want to open the thing that I'm pretty sure is going to be the laptop charger, but I just don't know what the laptop charger is going to be, guys. We'll go with this one. I don't think this is the laptop charger, but... And this is a laptop charger that was very kindly bought for me by me. Okay, good. That was a good prediction. That is actually my laptop charger, isn't it? Yeah, that's exciting. Okay, which means the other 3 are actual books. Next up we have got Bear Town by Frederick Backman. I have got another book by Frederick Backman and haven't read it yet, but I have been told it's absolutely excellent, and this one is also superb. And I loved the description of this one because it feels like it's very nature-based, and I just really fancy reading something like this. So I'm very excited to have this, and I also absolutely love that cover. This can also contribute towards my translated fiction master list that is very slowly growing. This one is bought for me by Abby, who is one of my patrons, so thank you so much, Abby. Abby said, "Hey Beth, I love your content. I'm so glad I'm a patron. This is one of my all-time favourites, and I hope you'll love it too. Happy Easter, Abby." Thank you so much, Abby. I cannot wait. I love this cover. So pretty. Such a nice cover. Cover color. Such a nice cover color. It's the end of the day. It's the end of the day, guys. I'm so excited. What I'm constantly saying at the moment is that I really want to read more books or recommend and read more books that are just not like the same ones I constantly recommend to you. So I'm really hoping I can increase doing that, and hopefully that's reflected in some of the books that I'm picking here. Well, that I had on my wish list and people are very kindly picking for me. Okay, what have we got next? Yes, okay. Oh, it's got sprayed pages, kind of. That's cool. Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw. This was very kindly sent, oh my god, why can't I speak? This was very kindly sent to me by Jodie. I've heard great things about this book. Enjoy, from Jodie, who is relish_books. This I was seeing everywhere and I was like, you don't need it, you don't need it. And then Victoria Schwab's Bridge of Souls, was it that one? Yeah, Bridge of Souls was set in New Orleans, and I suddenly became really interested in it. This is set in New Orleans and I need to read it. So I think it's vampire and other things, just vampires. There's a horror mansion, so I don't know if it goes down the other route of like other mysticky creatures, but I'm excited. Okay, it's not quite spray pages, but this is what I was talking about, but I think that's because they all have this lining, which is very cool. I've seen so many people talking about this at the moment, so that is very exciting. Thank you so much, Jodie. And lastly, the final package. Yay! Okay. It's Wonderland, Juno Dawson. This was sent to me by Becca. Thank you so much, Becca. I remember you loving this in your reading vlog, so happy to add a copy to your shelves. Thank you so much, Becca. You're absolutely right. I absolutely loved this, and it felt weird to just own it on Kindle. I really wanted a physical copy, and I'm so pleased to have one. This is by Juno Dawson, Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland retelling. So good. So good. Did I read it this year or last year? If it's this year, it's definitely in my top reads of the year, but was it this year? Time is blurring into one. I absolutely adored this book. It was just phenomenal, glorious, so I just really wanted to own a physical copy. That's the little unboxing slash haul. Thank you so much. I feel so lucky when stuff like this happens. Like, I really enjoy doing the wishlist sharing threads because I don't have an off button and I just keep thinking, oh, I'll just buy you one, I'll buy you one, I'll buy you one. I have to stop myself. Be like, no, stop. But when I see people receive them and just unbox and put stuff on social media, I'm just like, this makes me happy. I'm so glad that you enjoy it. And to just get some books back as well, like I say some, to get a load. I'm just so thankful. So thankful. Thank you guys so much. I am insanely excited to be able to just really open up what I'm reading, and I always try and not just read the same books that everyone else is reading, but like I think actively going forward I am going to try a lot harder to just expand out and read everything I fancy across all different types of books. Saying that, like, I know I don't like space sci-fi, for example, so I'm not necessarily going to dive straight into something like that, but I do really want to read older books. I want to read books that are classics, books that are modern, books in between, books that offer different opinions, books that offer different cultures, books that offer different religions and different races and different, just anything, different hobbies, just anything like that. I just want to read as much different things as possible just so I can absolutely keep expanding my reading tastes and being able to expand what I'm recommending to you guys. I will always do my absolute best to bring you books that I hope you enjoy. Obviously, I am only human, so if I ever do recommend you a book and it's not your thing, or if I recommend you a book and you don't agree with me, these are all just my own opinions. When I review books, I know that there's always this big debate of like why we review books, but like I'm reviewing books because I want to review books in my own way. Like, I'm reviewing them for me, for my fellow readers, for people that want to check out the books, and that is kind of what I bear in mind. That is my own personal opinions, and that's not necessarily going to be something everyone agrees with, and I completely get that. So I am a massive encourager of forming your own opinion, and just because you've liked a book doesn't mean I will like it, and because I've disliked a book doesn't mean you'll dislike it, and just, you know, I'm a massive believer in the fact that we are all able to make our own opinions and make our own decisions with books, and just make sure that those are always formed from a basis of something. So basically what I'm trying to say is I hope to continue to bring you some really great content, but also I hope to some really great content. I mean, I put a lot of effort into it, so I hope you guys find it really great content, but I also know my content's not going to be for everyone, but hopefully if you're watching this, it's for you. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing my absolute best to start to weave in hopefully more books that you won't have heard of as commonly. Like, I'm not saying you're not going to have heard of them, but like books that aren't as often talked about online, merged in with the ones that are, because I've still got a lot of those on my shelves too. I say looking behind me. But I'm super excited, super excited. So thank you for watching up until this point. It's not Sunday night. I don't normally vlog on Sundays either. It's Wednesday. I'm so confused because I've come home. I think it's Sunday. It's not, it's Wednesday. It's not Monday tomorrow, it's Thursday. Which is kind of a better feeling. So I'm gonna go and shower, and then I'm gonna sit and read Kindred, which is read here, which I have kind of nearly finished. I was sat reading it earlier. I'm so hooked, I need to know what's happening. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna thank everyone for these books. But thank you so much if you're watching this and you gifted me a book. So kind. Love you all very much. Thank you guys so much. I will see you either tomorrow or Friday. Good morning. It is bright and early on Friday. I'm pretty sure I know what day it is now, because when it's Friday, you know it's Friday. It is a working from the sofa day today. I'm very excited about that. I will probably stick some sort of easy watching TV on in the background, and it's sunny, which I'm also very excited about. Both directions has sun. I don't want that to change because last week it was so beautiful. And then this week, the temperature plummeted down and it's been really cold again because there is a gap in my door that I'm waiting to get fixed, and it's letting all cold air come in at both ends of the door, which is swell, and I can't really draft conceal it with anything because of the way the gap is. But anyway, that's good. So I'm gonna be under a blanket today. But a reading update for you. I finished Kindred last night. This book was so good. I thought it would come out as 5 stars, but on CorePile it came out as a 4.5, and I think the reason for that is because I rated the logic a little bit lower. Basically, the whole premise, as I've said, is about a woman being able to travel back in time, but it's against her will. And the only flaw of this I had was that everyone seemed to be majorly casual about this whole can travel back in time thing, and I think that was part of the plot and part of the point of the story, but I just felt like if someone literally disappeared in front of you, you would majorly freak out, like especially in the 1800s. That is what? I just feel like that would be really, really strange, and yet nobody seems to be like completely freaking out. Like they freak out and they find it strange and they know something weirder is going on, but they just didn't react quite the way you'd think if somebody was disappearing in front of you, was reappearing months and years later looking the same age. Like it was all kind of like, oh okay, we'll accept something weird's going on here and that's that. I don't know, I need a tiny squidge more of a freak out, but I absolutely loved it. It was 4.5 out of 5 stars, would highly recommend. Not one to go in too lightly. As I said, it can be quite brutal at times, but my god, what a fascinating read, and completely opened my eyes to things and taught me things that I hadn't read about before in fiction, and now I want to read more. So I'm going to be looking definitely more into Octavia E. Butler's work, and I'm very excited. But the book I've decided to pick up next is one that may destroy me, and this may be a mistake. But here we are. I'm going to read A Little Life. It's going to happen. And I already know I'm going to read it because I started it last night and got a little way in. Focus. I'm actually going to be reading this on my Kindle and kind of following along with a bookmark because I think that's going to make this less daunting for me. I find this book, I mean, I don't mind big books at all, but I know that this book is heavy. A lot of people have said that. And I just think because it's got quite long chapters and things, I think if I read the physical, I'll be constantly flicking forward to see when the chapter ends, and that might make me more reluctant to pick it up, if that makes any sort of sense. So I started on the Kindle with a trial of it on the Kindle just to see if I liked it, and so far I am really liking it. So I think I will buy it on the Kindle and just kind of read between the two. Also, that makes it a lot easier to highlight bits that I like rather than have to stop and write in it every time, because I was going to annotate this, but I think that could stint the reading as well. Basically, I'm just prepared for this to be heavy. I know that this is not a light read. I know it's not a jolly read. Half of the reviews gave it 5 stars, half the reviews give it 1 star and say it's utterly miserable. So I hope I enjoy it as much as I can acknowledge it's going to not be the happiest read in the world. I'm really excited to give it a go, and yeah, I'm only about 40 pages in. So we'll see how that goes. I may break it up. I may not read it all in one go. Like, obviously I'm not going to read it all in one sitting, but like I may maybe read half of it and then read something else. I don't know. If it's really, really gloomy, I might need to do that, because living alone in lockdown with shitty weather and loads of other things putting pressures on means that sometimes I don't necessarily want to read the gloomiest books, and I need books that lift me up. I don't often pick sad books, as I've said before, but I really, really want to give this one a go. So let's see how I go. I'm just quickly exporting that footage and I realised that you couldn't see my t-shirt in the whole of that shot. But look, it's from a company called Harkle Clothing and it says read more books. I got a couple of t-shirts, but I really like this one, and I'm not going to be vlogging for the rest of the day, so you're not going to be able to see it. But read more books, kids. There's a shot of my boobs. Hello, it is Saturday morning. It's not really the morning, it's Saturday afternoon. Just took a while to get ready because I did a horrible Joe Wicks workout. And I say this, they're very good. I'm doing the 90-day shred, but anyway, it's Saturday. I'm actually gonna go home shortly. I know I was just home, like as in not here. I am here right now, but I'm not feeling great in the brain, the old mental health department today. It's fine, it's all good. I just know if I stay here, I'm gonna spend a lot of time looking at my phone, and I don't want to do that because I just feel like when I look at my phone, I kind of implode into this like self-critical state of like obsession with social media, and like I can never actually focus on myself and my own brain. Does anyone else find this? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna chill. I know I just did that. I'm aware. But needs must. So I'm actually gonna wrap this vlog up here because I don't want to have to bring my camera back with me, and I just kind of want to have a little bit of a break. So I hope you enjoyed this weekly reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching if you did. I am still reading A Little Life, obviously. I haven't finished that one yet. I really liking it so far. I very much like the way that the author goes between all of the characters very seamlessly. Like, one minute you're getting detail on one of them, and then just subtly you go to the next one, and it's very clever. You don't even realise she's done it, but suddenly she's switched who we're focusing on, and I really like that. It's really clever. So I'm enjoying that so far, but I am only about 60 pages in because it's not a light book. And yeah, I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I can just easily bring it with me, which is much better than this chunky beast. So I'm gonna get ready to go, head off, but thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. Comment anything you like down below, what you've been reading this week, what your favourite book of the month has been. It's the start of April. Is it? It's mid-April. Well, it's the 10th of April? Okay. Anything you want, basically, and you can subscribe to see more of my face on your feed. There's also a link down below if you would like to join my Patreon, which is a fun place where we all hang out and do fun things. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive.